Today on IO, we're going to be breaking down what led to Donald Trump being banned from Twitter and how exactly his supporters were able to so easily siege the US Capitol Hill. The photos and videos that were released from last night's attacks are truly stunning to see. If there's one thing that you can take away from today's video, I want you to never forget this. Never forget how easy it was for people to rationalize having such a polarizing figure in Donald Trump, and never forget the way that these extremists acted to protect their idol. Although before we dive into all of the details from last night, we need you guys to tap that like button because it really helps out the channel, and that way new people can find us as well. Now let's move right along to what set this whole thing off. Yesterday, Vice President Mike Pence publicly broke up with Donald Trump, a boss he has loyally served for the last 4 years. Trump desperately wanted his VP to overthrow the election results, still citing fraudulent votes. However, Mike Pence declared that he has no unilateral authority to decide a presidential contest and would not change the results of the election. In his statement, Mike Pence writes, "It is my considered judgment that my oath to support and defend the Constitution constrains me from claiming unilateral authority to determine which electoral votes should be counted and which should not." Following this, Donald Trump began blasting Mike Pence on Twitter. In one tweet he said, "Mike Pence didn't have the courage to do what should have been done to protect our country and our Constitution, giving states a chance to certify a corrected set of facts, not the fraudulent or inaccurate ones which they were asked to previously certify. USA demands the truth." This tweet apparently was sent out 10 minutes following Pence being escorted off the Senate floor after making his decision. Then Donald Trump decided to hold a rally for his supporters right outside of the White House, where they were finishing off the count to confirm Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
What they've done and what they're doing, we will never give up, we will never concede. It doesn't happen. You don't concede when there's theft involved.
Yes, you heard that correctly. During Trump's rally, he actually said that he would never concede the presidency. So I guess out he will go, kicking and screaming and holding onto the drapes, I suppose. What followed was absolutely shocking, embarrassing, and will forever be a stain on America's history. The Capitol in Washington, D.C. was placed under lockdown on Wednesday after hundreds of Trump supporters stormed the building to stop the certification of the election results. There was even video of the senators pausing the Electoral College debate as Senator James Lankford notifies them that the protesters have made their way into the building.
And it will stand in recess until the call of the chair.
We'll pause.
Protesters are in the building.
Thank you.
However, I want to get my position that these were not protesters. These were rioters and domestic terrorists. So let's call them what they are, shall we? The group of rioters outside first pushed through a fence and attacked Capitol Hill security to make their way onto the grounds. Once past, they entered the second floor lobby of the building right outside of the Senate chamber. Videos then show people breaking windows, pushing past barricades, and forcefully entering rooms and offices in the Capitol. These rioters were in the building for approximately 4 hours following the breach, and officials later announced that they had been all cleared out, plus the votes were protected. Lawmakers were able to safely remove the electoral ballot boxes before the rioters could breach the Senate floor. As reported by Reuters, police on Capitol Hill responded with drawn guns and tear gas as hundreds of protesters stormed the building and sought to force Congress to undo President Trump's election defeat. Unfortunately, the police were heavily outnumbered and eventually became overwhelmed by the mob of Trump supporters. Even more terrifying was the armed standoff at the House front door. As police officers had their guns drawn, they moved a large piece of furniture to barricade themselves inside long enough for the electoral ballots to be secured. This, however, was just the first of the chaos that was about to ensue. A woman who has yet to be identified died after being shot in the chest on the Capitol grounds. DC Police Chief Robert Conti also said that 3 other people died from medical emergencies during the riot. Now, after all of this, Donald Trump was suspended from Twitter and Facebook after tweeting to his supporters that attacked the US Capitol. In one tweet, he said he loved them before telling them to just go home. He then proceeded to make more false claims about election fraud. Twitter claimed that they were required to remove 3 of his tweets for severe violations of their civic integrity policy. The Twitter safety account confirmed this by tweeting, "As a result of the unprecedented and ongoing violent situation in Washington, D.C., we have required the removal of 3 @RealDonaldTrump tweets that were posted earlier today for repeated and severe violations of our civic integrity policy." Adding, "This means that the account of @RealDonaldTrump will be locked for 12 hours following the removal of these tweets. If the tweets are not removed, the account will remain locked." Now, because Trump can't tweet anymore, he still fed out one last message through Dan Scavino, who writes, now this is coming from Trump himself, "Even though I totally disagree with the outcome of the election and the facts bear me out, nevertheless, there will be an orderly transition on January 20th. I have always said that we would continue our fight to ensure that only legal votes were counted. While this represents the end of the greatest first term in presidential history, it's only the beginning of our fight to make America great again." Now, I know a lot happened just last night alone, so I hope that this cleared up a few things for you and perhaps gave you some more information on what went down at the US Capitol Hill. With that though, let's quickly check out some of your comments from the video titled "Dr. Dre Rushed to Hospital Because of This." Diggy Dre TV says, "I find it ironic that he is sent to the same hospital that Eazy-E died in. I really hope he pulls through. I know he is doing better now." It was actually terrifyingly, coincidental, I guess. I don't know how else to describe this, but I was watching Straight Outta Compton the night before that he got sent there. So I had the exact same thought. I was like, oh my god, he's going right to the same place that Eazy-E went to. Truly heartbreaking. Hopefully he gets better soon. Jose says he's doing better now, but his mental health must be down due to his divorce with his wife. Yeah, that for sure has to take a toll on you at some point. Shannon W says, my mom had brain surgery and developed an aneurysm as a result of that surgery, so a month after the first brain surgery, she had to have a second one to clip the aneurysm, and she only had a 5% chance of surviving that surgery. That was in 1990 and has been fine since, thank God. Thank God indeed. That is miraculous that she was able to recover from that, and much love to your mom. That strong woman. Critter Creator says, Johnny loving the lumberjack look today. Classic, my friend. Always a classic look, but you know I had to come in a suit today. It's real news day. CM Karma 555 says, Johnny, I can't look at you and not think about Walt Disney. You look just like him when he was young. God, do I? Ugh. I don't know if I want that look. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I've been your host, Johnny Rogers, and until next time, stay classy, YouTube.